There we go. All right. Hey, everybody. My name is Matt Mull, and welcome to Email Kickstart Mastermind that is brought to us by AdThrive. Thanks, AdThrive. We have a small, intimate group where we are going to talk about your email situation. We're going to talk about how do we grow a list. It is Q4. We made it to Q4, and we have some unique opportunities staring us in the face that other mastermind groups do not have, because I'm telling you, it's the most wonderful time to build an email list. We have better traffic. We have more engaged people, generally speaking. I know I'm speaking in generalities, but let's take advantage of that. So this is me. We've got people from across the globe, actually, in this particular group. I do record these sessions for people who are, we've got a few people that are exact opposite time zone of me right now. They're either going to bed or are asleep on the other side of the globe. Thank you for tuning in. Hope that we can help you as well. But I live in the state of Arizona here in the United States, and these are my people. They don't actually live with me anymore. In fact, as of 4 weeks ago, my wife and I are empty nesters. The one closest to me that I'm not holding hands with she went off to college, and the one next to her just got married in September this last month, and my eldest, my son on the end, he got married in April. So my goodness, life changes for us. But what doesn't change is how awesome email is. Why am I talking about email? Why was I tapped to be the person to talk to you about email from AdThrive? Well, I've been using email successfully for 2 decades. And most recently, I came from a small startup. This company was a daily deal website. Remember when Groupon clones were everywhere? Well, we had one. And we did, every year that I was there, a minimum of $10 million in email sales that I could attribute directly to the email. Sales came from that. For our small little company, that was a big percentage. That was a big, important part. Now, my wife and I, a few years back, we started a Disney-related website specifically focused on Disney cruise. And when we launched the website in September of 2016 to 2 years later, in that time, we acquired 40,000 email subscribers using the exact techniques that I'm going to be sharing here with you today. And in fact, I know that that's small change for many of you, but for us, you know how it is when you launch a website and register the domain name and get going from scratch. That was a big deal. And I'm here to tell you that it's possible. So one of these things that I wanted to, these are the people that I've been working with. I work with some of the best bloggers, YouTubers, content creators in the world. And it's been a lot of fun. And I advise them on the same stuff that we're going to talk about here, more of a mastermind format, but I work with them individually, one-on-one, and teach them what to send, how to automate, how to grow the list, and to create systems. So we're going to be getting into all that. So as far as housekeeping stuff, you know how it is. It's a Zoom call. Mute when you're not talking, but please do ask questions. Look, this is going to be a small group. I mentioned this before. If you feel like showing your face, I love it. Peter, I saw you there for a second. It's okay. This isn't the type of thing where it's going to be small, so we can engage and ask questions. Heck, it's going to be so small. Feel free to unmute and ask the question, or you can ask it in the chat. It's going to be that type of thing. Now, I have done this enough times that if you will follow along for these 6 sessions, I have broken up each session into small, bite-sized homework pieces that you can handle. If you'll stick with me and do these steps, by the time we're done, you will have a transformed email system. I can promise you that. This has worked over and over and over again for my content creators out there. And if you'll follow along with me, we can make it happen. I expect that most of you are here on this call because, well, we'll talk about it in just a second. You already shared with me some of the challenges that you have with email. So we're going to get into that. AdThrive is and then I am going to be recording each session. I do get a lot of energy when you come live, of course. If you have to make the recording, that's cool too. All right, so AdThrive is throwing in for you some big time value. All right, this is my course that I've been selling for $500, and you get it for free thanks to AdThrive. So grab this. I'm not going to mention it too many times. I'm going to drop it here in the chat. I'll get these the URL. I'll get the coupon code. So in fact, somebody go sign up for it so that I know that I didn't screw up the coupon code. That would be helpful. Come back and report. But you're going to want to get this. Why? Because we're going to talk about the strategies as part of the mastermind, but we're not going to be able to cover all the nitty-gritty technical details. And what the course does is it teaches you step-by-step instructions on how to do things technically. And then, of course, this will be a resource for you well beyond the 2 weeks that we're working together with our sessions. Okay. So if you have not done so, please go join the Facebook group. We'd love to have you in there. This is the place where we can share and share our homework, share ideas, ask questions of each other. Christy promises to go check out every single one of your stuff and answer every single question. It's just the type of person that she is. We all appreciate it. Thanks, Christy. So feel free to do that. Join there if you haven't done so yet. All right, let's get to it. Enough of this jibber jabber, Matt. Let's go. So you're here because you've heard this phrase before. The money's in the list. Maybe you've heard this. Now, I'm not going to spend a ton of time on this. I imagine that you at least see the value of email, and that's why you decided to take a moment to join me here on this. But I do have to talk about it for a second. I'd be remiss if we didn't talk about why to build an email list. First of all, email list it's one of the few things in digital marketing that you kind of own, right? You have with your Pinterest, your social media followings, your blog traffic. We are beholden to Lord Google and Lord Zuckerberg for much of that, right? They bless us with the traffic and then they take it away sometimes. We've all been, perhaps if we've been doing this long enough, you have experienced that as I have. So owning your list. I want to tell you a very real story. I remember I was telling you about the Disney related website. March of 2020, something happened. All Disney cruise traffic stopped to our website. Think about what's going on in March of 2020. Nobody wanted to go on a Disney cruise with the coronavirus being so prevalent. In fact, they shut down the cruises. So no traffic coming in. Well, that's not true. We did have traffic coming on how to cancel a Disney cruise, but surprisingly enough, there was not a whole lot of RPMs from AdThrive on those particular pages. So what did we do? Now, my wife and I were not overly crafty or that, built that way, but we pivoted and we very quickly cranked out Disney fun at home content, things you could do at home that were Disney related. Because we had a big list, we were able to drive people back to our website all month long. From our AdThrive revenue for March equaled our AdThrive revenue from February. This was a massive save for us because we had a list and we were able to send traffic there. Now, look, is the world changing? Is digital marketing landscape changing? Of course not. This would never happen to you. But it's a great insurance policy. And not only that, you control it. And that leads to our next thing. It's a fantastic way to build engagement between you and your follower. It's a fairly intimate thing. When I send you an email, there's a pretty good chance it's going to land in your inbox and you're going to see it, at that message that I intended for your eyes, and that you can hit reply and get back to me, the CEO of my particular company, right? This is a great way to build engagement with your people. I hear this all the time. My audience like this, my audience like that. Okay, how do you know what your audience? I'm being a jerk a little bit here on purpose. How do you know what your audience is? Are you talking about your Google traffic and the 3 grandmas that write you in every 5th day? Is that your audience? My guess is that you don't actually know to the extent that you think you know. Not you individually. I'm saying collectively, right? Generally, you, the proverbial you. So, and I include myself in that. We can build an engagement between people, and find out what our audience really likes through email. And that leads to building a brand. Since I'm on my jerk platform, there is nothing stopping somebody from competing with you and I. There anybody in Malaysia with or Michigan or Madrid, it doesn't matter, with a Wi-Fi connection and a laptop can compete with you and I. So how do we stand out? Don't tell me it's because you ranked #1 for something. So how can we use email to explain who we are, why we're different, and how we can really serve these people going forward? Ultimately, that's how we create super fans, people that come back, buy all our stuff. This is how we get the private yacht, everybody. All right. I don't think I'm over promising anything there. Okay. So I'm going to explain during the process, how do we get super fans? Now, before we do that, you were all very, very vulnerable with me, or you didn't know me at the time, but with AdThrive, when you filled out that form, signing up for this group, and you told me a few things. Now, this is the audience participation part of our program here. Let me know if you struggle with any one of these email issues. Okay, is anybody out there have a hard time getting new subscribers? This is the most common one that I get. All right, Shayna, Shayna will, yes. All right, Bethany, I hear you. Okay, what about this one? People who are paying, you're paying for people that aren't opening your emails. That stinks. Email is not supposed to be a cost center, but doggone it, my MailerLite, MailChimp, ConvertKit, ActiveCampaign, Flowdesk bill just kind of bugs me every month, right? We've got people like that. Or a couple of you mentioned it's hard to come up with new content, exclusive content for your emails over and over again. You feel like you have to provide these people with something special. We'll talk about that. Also, you are very busy. You have 800 other things to do in your life besides manage email. I get where email kind of fits in the overall priority of the blogging chain, right? Some of you are trying to sell things and are sending out emails that aren't converting to sales in the way that you had hoped. All right, Shayna's feeling that one. We'll talk about that too. We'll spend some time on how do we fix that problem. We have other folks that are just, I have no idea how to make money with my list. I have a list, now what? So what, right? Okay, Christy almost nodded there. I felt it. But maybe this is you. Any sad cats out there with no strategy at all? I usually have a few sad cats, okay? So my experience has been that most of my clients, and I'm not talking about just on the masterminds, but people that I work with on a day in, day out basis, some of the biggest bloggers in the world, they struggle with email with two things. One, they don't know how to grow the list with their people. And two, they don't have a system. Remember those 800 other things that you could be doing? You didn't get to where you are without having a system for creating your content, for doing your SEO, for managing your Pinterest, for managing your Facebook group, and right? There's 800, the photography, the video, all of that, managing your people. Usually you have systems. What this is, I'm going to give you two main things over the next 6 sessions. If you will stick with me, I'm going to give you a method to grow your list that works over and over and over again, and a system, a framework that you can manage that will fit into your life. That's a little bit of what makes me different, is I have both done this personally and done this with a lot of other bloggers like you, and have figured out how to create something that will fit. Now, this is going to be cookie cutter advice. It's a mastermind, but part of this, because it's small and intimate, is we can talk about how it fits for you individually. There will be time for that. All right, let's get to this, blah, 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 skip over some slides. All right, I do need to talk about this one. About the technical stuff. I always get this question, and so I've just started to hit this head on. What platform do I recommend? Well, I'll explain that in just a second, but you can use almost every one of your platforms that you have. The email Kickstart mastermind techniques that I'm going to teach will work on most email platforms. If you're on the fence, however, and you've been thinking about switching to something else because you struggle with whatever technical malaise from your existing platform, my recommendation is ConvertKit. That probably won't surprise you if you've paid any attention to email. You've heard about ConvertKit. You know it's out there. This is, yes, this is an affiliate link. I am an affiliate of theirs, but I switched to them a few years back from a very large and well-known platform where it was driving me crazy. I couldn't do some of the things that I wanted to do in the way as efficiently as I wanted to do them. Some of the things I'm going to teach you here. It's possible, but I was spending entire Saturdays trying to, figure it out and make it work. So ConvertKit was the nice blend of the features that I want and the automations and all that, with a little bit more of a interface that felt like blogging to me, that I could understand, and it worked for me. Look, I'm not telling you to go switch. If you decide if this is something you're thinking about, inside the email and autopilot course, it teaches the techniques, that free course that I mentioned earlier in the thing. And it also tells you how to do the things when we're setting up or explaining to you how to set them up step by step in ConvertKit. So it's kind of two-part course. All right. Let's get to this. I want you to meet my friend Martha. This is the other day I was over at her house and we were just chatting away, and she had her non-branded laptop her glass of milk. And she says, Matt, I've got a hankering for something. And Martha gets this way sometimes. And I said, what is it this time? She says, well, I've got a real craving. And you know what it is. Play along. You see the glass of milk. It's obvious, right? So she says, yes, I've got a hankering for some smoked turkey breast. And I'm like, me too. This is exactly what I want right now. I said, do you know how to make smoked turkey breast? And she said, no, I know that we don't want to do it at the store. We want to do it right here in my kitchen. And I said, okay. So here's what we did. We went to this thing called Google and we looked up smoked turkey breast. And then up came this result. Check it out. It came up a couple of times in the top spots. Oh, so delicioso. Perfect smoked turkey breast recipe. So of course, Martha and I did what you naturally do. We clicked on it and presto, there's this beautiful website. And we even hit jump to recipe and boom, there's a recipe. So right then and there, we went out and we made ourselves some perfect smoked turkey breast, and that we loved it. And as we took our napkins and wiped the corners of our mouths. Do you know what we did? Did we jump on our phones and tell all our friends about this great recipe? Did we bookmark it for later? No. We bounced. Oh, so delicioso has this problem. I'm guessing. I have not hacked into their website. But if they're like anything like any of most of my clients, what happens here with Martha? Does she tell all her friends? No, because she's out off and on her way. She got what she wanted, right? Her transaction is complete. So she doesn't need more recipes in her life from Oh So Delicioso. Why? Well, in that moment, she's in what I call transaction mode. What's she going to do next time she gets hungry? She's just going to go to Google again, or Pinterest, or her favorite Facebook group that talks about recipes. Does she care about ohsowhat.com? Does she need to remember that logo or that URL or any of that? No, because next time she's hungry, she'll just do what she just did. And it works every time for her. Google's pretty good at giving pretty good recipes. So what should she do instead? Well, I do have a suggestion for you to get more Marthas onto your list and mine too. And that is that we need to get her to stop in her tracks and offer her something that solves her next problem. I call this an email hook or a lead magnet. You've heard it referred to in the past. Maybe you even have one or multiple hooks. Down there in the chat, let me know what you have, because while I'm telling you what I think makes a good email hook, I'd like to know what you have. Some of you have gone beyond subscribe for updates and you have something that you dangle, whether it's a free downloadable or an ebook or a course or whatever you got. Let me know down there. In the meantime, while you're doing that, I want to tell you what I think makes a good email hook. First, it should grab your target reader, the person that you truly can help going forward. I'm not talking about Visa gift card giveaways here that just attract any old person. Second, and probably most specifically, most importantly, it should solve a problem for your reader. Ideally, it would arrive in the inbox instantly so they don't have to wait for it. And then we wanted to showcase you as a subject matter expert, somebody that can help them. Christy, give me some examples. What have you got? Give me an example of one that is performing really well for you. Okay, so Shayna's got tips and coupon codes and favorite paint colors. Are those in are those like in a guide or an ebook, PDFs? Okay, all right, great, awesome, thank you. There are lots of different types of email hooks, right? There, as some of you are using, printables and downloadables, checklists, bonus content, unlock this bonus content. Oh, SVGs, people love it. If you're into SVG world, yes, I get it. People love those, and they're very functional. They're very useful. It's very actionable. It's the thing that they want right now. So those work wonderfully. Okay, great. Here's the problem with some or most email hooks out there is that they either take time or skill or money to create. And sometimes they just aren't that effective at attracting readers that will ultimately become your super fans. Have you ever had people do the grab and go of your PDF or your downloadable where you never see them again? They were like curious for a moment and they grabbed the, they're like, oh, a free thing, let me get it, download it to my computer in case I might use this someday. That is very, very common, and then they're not really engaged. I'm not saying don't do those, by the way. Every one of these things that I just showed you, every one of these, I currently do this, all right? But I'm going to share with you a new approach, the one I do most often. And again, remember, I'm giving cookie cutter advice that you'll have to apply to your specific situation. But what I like to do is something called a quick start guide. A quick start guide is simply a short series of emails that drives your newest subscribers to the most important stuff. Now, what do I mean by this? All right, let's put this into practice. Remember my Disney cruise. Now I have other Disney related content, but if somebody lands on Google's Disney cruise tips and they land on my website, what do I know about that person? They're likely going on a Disney cruise, or they're really thinking hard about it. And it's probably their first time. So that's why this quick start guide works amazingly well. What to expect on your first Disney cruise. Somebody lands, they engage with the content, they'll see an inline form, they'll see a pop-up, whatever, what to expect on your first Disney cruise. This thing converts like crazy. Why? Because it solves their next problem. Think about this for a second. What does this not say? Sign up for Disney Cruise alerts. Sign up for more Disney Cruise news. It's not any of that. Sign up to learn about Disney cruises. This is directly at what to expect on your first Disney cruise. Here's the glory of what a quick start guide does. You can use your existing content. The way that this works, and by the way, spoiler alert, the homework assignment today will be go make a, come up with a quick start guide. Surprise, right? But what my challenge will be to you is that you don't get to write anything new for this. You must use existing content, all right? Because you can do it. What we're doing here is we're creating a general theme. And we're going to slap this theme together, and we're going to send them one email, quote unquote, air quotes, lesson per day for 3 to 5 days in a row. Each day is going to be kind of a theme. It's going to teach them something. It's going to solve a problem. And each one of them will bring them back to your website. We don't have to do everything in the email itself, or we don't have to put all the content in the email itself. We want them back on the website. All we're doing, folks, is we are putting valuable content for them in an order that makes sense. We're just making a little mini journey for somebody that we don't know, but that we know what they need. And the reason that this works is because when people are just getting going with a particular new project or new topic, or they're learning something new, they want to get started. They want to get going quickly. They don't need the whole Wikipedia. They don't need the Dummy's Guide to X. They don't need the entire Rick Steves guidebook. When we can just simplify and boil things down for them, very, very basically, we make life easy for them. And we're doing them a huge, huge favor. And as I mentioned, we get to use our existing content to do this. But Matt, all this content's already on my blog. It's already on my YouTube channel. It's already on my Instagram. Can't they just find it there? Well, sure they could. Are they going to do that? No. You don't do that. I don't do that. Nobody surfs like that anymore. We don't have to. So here's the beauty of the Quick Start Guide. It's going to save your readers time by driving them to your best stuff for them. In the process, they've given you permission to be in their inbox for 3 to 5 days in a row. This is Martha did not know you. And now over 3 to 5 days in a row, you get to convince her that you are a subject matter expert. Bringing them back to your blog, to your website, to your channel, to your whatever, social media, wherever you want. And in the process, because you're delivering awesomeness, you're training them to open and click future emails. All right, blah, 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 blah. Solve your reader's problem by helping
him or her make sense of something new. 1 email lesson per day for 3 to 5 days in a row. Everybody kind of get it? Let me show you some examples. And stop me if you have any questions here. I got to drink my fancy LaCroix because I'm a fancy guy. 5 secrets for baking impossibly soft cookies. This is Allie at Baking a Moment. And she's got a lot of baked goods, but this hook, she's had this one for years because it works great. People love cookies. It's a delicious looking cookie. They want apparently impossibly soft cookies. It works wonderfully. Jansen Bradshaw from Everyday Reading, she has a passion and expertise for helping people instill a love of reading in their kids. And so raising readers, this course, it's 5 emails in a row. Here we've got Michelle at Paleo Running Mama, 5 secrets to paleo success. A particular diet has a little bit of has some particular diet needs. So this is 5 days of recipes, basically. Jessica from 4 Generations One Roof she does DIY and teaches people how to fix that and decorate that and enhance this. So 5 secrets to transform your home on any budget. And then she just delivers them 5 days of easy projects that she knows everybody wants. This one did great during the pandemic. I illustrate that, or I bring this as an illustration of what's possible when you start thinking outside the box a little bit. So we couldn't leave our houses, so Killer Copycat Recipes was a fantastic hook. And then Nami and Shen from Just One Cookbook, 5 secrets to Japanese cooking, right? Spot on. It's on the nose. They teach about, if somebody Googles a particular Japanese recipe, they're likely to come up pretty high. And so that person is interested usually in how to become more proficient at cooking in Japanese. All right, now this one I'm going to dive a little bit deeper. This is Ralphie Jacobs. She is Simply on Purpose on Instagram. I don't even think she has a website. I'm not sure. She didn't back then, and I don't think she does now. Anyway, currently she's sitting at closer to 500,000 followers. This was a few years ago. But when she came to me, she had 0 subscribers. She wanted to build a list because she wanted to sell stuff, including conferences and in-person sessions and coaching. So she's got this Instagram following. So we created this guide that we called Staying Safe, Why We Yell, Why It Doesn't Work, and What to Do Instead. And over the course of 2 weeks, she shared this as part of her No Yell Week. I don't know why I'm air quoting. It was No Yell Week. And during the 2 weeks period, she kept mentioning in her stories over and over again, this free email guide, this free course, come get it, the Stay Safe series. We spent probably 2.5, 3 minutes on this landing page, okay? That basically this was swipe up to get it, or now it's just click to get it. And here were the results. Over the course of 2 weeks, she went from 0 subscribers to 20,000. And these engagement rates were fantastic. Her open rates were through the roof, and people were clicking these at a very high rate. If you know anything about email marketing metrics, those are very, very strong for a list of 20,000, okay? Here's an example of what one of these emails looked like. I don't know why I picked less than 2, who knows? Why yelling doesn't work? Why doesn't yelling work? Here's 3 long-term effects of yelling. It creates an environment that's coercive, blah, blah, blah. At the end of it, for a video on the negative effects of yelling, click the picture. We did not Photoshop that picture. We did not spend any time on that picture. She just went click, screenshot, and then video, the negative effects of yelling. Now, get this. Guess where this takes you? It takes you right back to a highlighted Instagram story. So they're on Instagram. They see her in stories. They sign up for a quick start guide. The email brings them right back to her channel where the content was already always there. And they love it. They didn't go searching for that content on their own. Ralphie simply drove them there. Okay? This is the power of the quick start guide. And it's so dang simple. All right, let's do a fake example here. My apologies to both to food bloggers and to vegans out there. I am neither. If I were to do a
food blog, it'd probably have to be about microwave burritos or something. That's the extent of my food knowledge. I could probably do microwave burritos standard and then microwave burritos with cheese. I could really, don't go stealing these ideas. These are really good ideas. I'm gonna launch my microwave burrito blog. Anyway, could you imagine a food blogger, a vegan food blogger, having something along these lines? Eating vegan, beginner's guide to transforming your diet. Maybe that blogger has these articles on the website. 26 reasons to go vegan, 10 all-time best meat-free recipes. I'm just grabbing stuff here and lumping these together as an example. And presto, we have a quick start guide. Now, this is a text-based email. You can use images. I just did this because it was in Google Docs and I wanted to show an example. But imagine what this, let's break down what one of these emails can look like. And this can be, yeah, you can have images, emojis, all that. I'm gonna talk about formatting. I'm gonna talk about email writing here in just a few. But let me give you a breakdown of what one of these emails can look like. First of all, when I'm writing an email, I like to state the problem. Remind them that they have a problem. You got a problem, buddy. Here's what your problem is. So in this case, tasty lunches for vegans can be hard. It requires forethought and planning. And what can you make that's fast, inexpensive, as something you take to work or school or wherever. Now, feel free to add some personal experience, but do it briefly. We don't need the whole backstory. When I decided to live a true vegan lifestyle, I found that breakfast and dinner were fairly easy. I guess that's because at that time, I'm usually at home and more control my environment. But lunch, that was a different story. Then let them know that you have a solution and that your solution will solve their problem. I've made a comprehensive list of tasty, quick, and easy to prepare lunches that I know you will love. Now, be smart about links. This is a focus thing, right? If you have a desired outcome for that subscriber, like you want them to visit a blog post, well then we don't need we don't need to link them to 800 things. Focus them on what you want them to do, all right? Be smart about your links. So in this case, this one only has one to focus their attention. And you could, instead of this big text, use a big button. People are trained to know what to do with buttons and they're easy to click for people who have decrepit thumbs like me. Tease your next email. You can finish up with a sentence about what's coming next in the series. I like doing this because it lets them know that they're part of a thing, right? See you tomorrow when I'll share with you 25 delicious vegan recipes that are designed for weight loss. Okay, so that's part of the thing. Subject lines. We're going to spend more time on subject lines later, but my little takeaway here, jot this down if this helps you. I did not come up with this. I've learned this at some, training 20 years ago or something, but the expert at that time shared with me curiosity plus self-interest. And this has been my subject line formula. It's stuck with me ever since. In fact, you might want to put a sticky note right here on your monitor for a while until to master this. What do I mean by curiosity plus self-interest? Let me give you an example. Again, let's say you're a food blogger and your recipe du jour is pineapple coleslaw. At 7 a.m. when you send out that email and the subject line is pineapple coleslaw, how excited is your reader going to be? What if instead you said, my go-to for any potluck? Okay, that's not amazing, but you can see how that invokes curiosity and self-interest. The self-interest is, I have my potluck situation taken care of. And the curiosity is, well, what is it? My go-to? All right, if it's good enough for you, maybe it's good enough for me. So that will get more opens than pineapple coleslaw, guaranteed. All right, let's look at some real life, a real life example here. Sally at Sally's Baking Addiction has embraced email. She's very, very good at it. And part of her team, they all are trained in how to do this. But this is one of her first emails that she wrote when we were working together a few years back, and it still works for me. So it's part of Sally's Secrets Baking Made Easy. This is her quick start guide. Secret number 3, how to bake the perfect chocolate chip cookie. By the way, the second subject line formula that always works is to include the word chocolate chip cookie. So that's just another little tip. Let's break this down. It's day 3 of Sally's Secrets Baking Made Easy. By the way, you see how that is branded? It's kind of branded. It's given a name. It's part of a thing, and it tells you where you are in the thing. Oh yeah, I signed up for the thing. Because remember, Martha doesn't know us. This is a little reminder that she signed up for that. Oh yeah, that's right. And also tells her that this will end. It's only, it's day 3. That means that implies there is an ending to it. Here's the problem with most chocolate chip cookie recipes on the internet. They overspread. She goes right at it. She doesn't mess around. This is the problem she's solving. There's no, my grandma used to bake cookies in her barn in Maryland, and they were so delicious and they smelled fantastic. And I remember her telling me one day, blah, 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 right? Here's a little tip. People don't read emails. People skim. So my, with apologies to my 7th grade English teacher, Mrs. Meek, who would be very, very upset with me, most of my paragraphs in emails are 1 sentence or maybe 2 sometimes. All right, break it up. We use 5th grade, or I'm not even sure, 5th grade grammar. I don't try to get too cute with the prose because people are skimming. You'll notice here in Sally's how skimmable this email is. All right, look, there's a subheader. I love me a good subheader. All right, a heading like that, because what are they going to do? They're going to read this subject line, and then they're going to kind of maybe glance at this, and then they're probably going to skim over this, and then boom, they're going to read that. Want the perfect chocolate chip cookie? Yes, I do. I would like one right now, actually. And there's an emoji. Now check out this sentence. Today, I'm sharing the most popular cookie recipe on my website. Seriously, over 700 reviews. Compare that sentence to the one that follows. These chocolate chip delights are super soft, thick, chewy, and easy to make. Which one of those is substantial and which one of those is fluffy? The one that has social proof is the one that pops you in the nose. It says, I believe you now. The other one is something you would read on the back of a package somewhere. Everybody's going to say that. Not everybody can say that their cookie, that this cookie is the most popular on their website. And second, that it's got 700 reviews. She's even got a little humble brag down here. I even published this cookie recipe in my best-selling cookbook. All right. Notice that the image is, and Sally has magazine quality images, but she is, she's understanding the above and below the fold concept with email. All right. Remember, if I have to scroll too far, so a big long image, big portrait image makes me scroll further. I prefer horizontal landscape images or a square. No more than 600 pixels wide, usually about 400 or 500. Why? Because people are reading their emails on your phone, and AOL and Comcast and Gmail and Yahoo and Outlook on every single device. I've got an iPhone 12 Max here, Max Pro here, now I'm bragging. My wife has a different phone. Emails look different between my phone and her phone. It's weird. It's a CSS thing. It's how they treat it. So you may think it looks a certain way. That's why I go with what I can be consistent about. So about 400 to 500 pixels wide is all I do. Then she's got another subheader, 5 secrets to chocolate chip cookie perfection. You'll learn these 5 secrets, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ready to try it? Yes, boom. So she tells you the what, but not the how. In order to get the how, you have to click through. Okay, this making sense, I hope? Let's brainstorm a little bit. Let's think for a second. By the way, I'm doing a special promotion. I'm giving away today absolutely 100% free ideas for your quick start guide. So if you're stuck and you need one, I will come up with one on the spot. Stump Matt Mullen. That is the challenge for today. All right. Hopefully you've got an idea or two. Let's hear what you got. So down in the chat, let me know. Let's think about what might be your quick start guide. While you're doing that, let me put some rah-rah out there. Last summer, I had 5,000 subscribers, thanks to you. Now I have 55,000, and it's amazing I was able to grow so much in 1 year. I got that a couple months ago. This one I've had in here for a year, but I like it. this one emailed me one day a year ago after putting up her quick start guide. I'm at 209 subscribers as of this morning, which is awesome since yesterday was a busy day for many, with it being Halloween. 209 one day. I'm so excited I got this done, blah, blah, blah. Okay. All right. Okay, Shayna's got one. Is it working? All right. It's best converting. You want another one? Let's see if we can stump it. All right. Shayna, what's your you can unmute. Let's talk. And if any of you are stuck,
Hello.
I'm giving them away. What's your website?
So thewoodgraincottage.com.
Woodgraincottage.com. Let's try that again.
Well, that's
Wood-
embarrassing.
Wood Grain Cottage. Do I have it right? The Wood Grain Cottage. The Wood Grain.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's just a thing for me. Let's see. Okay. Aliens. All right. What is your, that's beautiful, by the way. What are my favorite paint colors? Okay. What does this guide do?
So it basically gives people, it's one of my most asked questions
Yeah.
of what the paint colors are in my house. So it gives people the paint colors, then they go into my funnel,
Okay. And it's in a PDF.
the PDF.
Do you have a blog post that talks about these things?
I have a home tour section that goes over in detail the colors of every part of my house that people don't ever seem to pay attention to. It's frustrating.
It's frustrating that they don't pay attention to it.
Well, that they, it's just like you get asked all these questions and you try to make a place for them to find them and go to that place.
Okay. Well,
But-
on that, this is not the focus of what we're here to talk about, but on this one, if you and I were working together, one of the things that we might discuss is, does it make sense to send them to that same content on a website, on the website? Because if somebody, now I recognize that this is probably aimed towards, when you created it, it's aimed towards the people who are established followers, right? That are asking that question. But because it shows up here, my guess is it shows up when I Google something or do a Pinterest and I land on your website, it shows up for me in that scenario too, right? So in that circumstance, then I might try to turn this into a 3 to 5 day guide where I'm driving them to different sections of my website, where you might be encouraging them to see different parts of your home tour and bring them back to the website. Sometimes we just don't know what we don't know. We have to be led. So
I know in it, we do also share like my favorite painting supplies, things like that with affiliate links to try to help monetize some of those things.
I love that. I love that. Are those painting supplies on a website? They're in the PDF.
Actually, they are. I use Flowdesk.
Okay.
And in that I have linked all of those in the actual website as well. So I think like below I had my VA add like my top 5 painting supplies, and there's a picture with them and a link to it.
Cool.
And I think also linked in the actual PDF download as well.
Great. You might also, if you haven't done so, sounds like maybe you have, you might also create a post that just talks about your favorite supplies. You probably rank for it. And in fact, I have found that one of the benefits of something like this is that you're driving people to a website that it's a strong signal to Google that when they come from email or they've come back multiple times, they've been on your website and they're on the list and now they come back to it, you can actually rank for that. I wouldn't necessarily not have the links in there, but I might have an email in this quick start guide. So day 1 is, as promised, here's my favorite colors. Click here and it takes you to the blog. Day 2, so you're thinking about paint. Well, you're probably thinking about the supplies that you need. There's a whole bunch of things that you don't need. Here's what you actually do need. Click it, boom. And it's your, it's your painter's starter kit. I don't know. And then that's your link of what you need. Day 3, here are some rooms that could really use here's some rooms that I have transformed with paint colors. Here's my foyer transformation. Here's my kitchen. Here's my kid's bedroom. See how I did it. Click, 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 right? That they're all in the same mode here thinking about paint. My guess is that you could turn this one email PDF into a 5-part series real easily that drives them back to your website. That wasn't even what we were here to come to talk about. What is your biggest?
So it's the 5-day challenge to update your home.
As far as traffic, what are your highest traffic posts?
They're DIY projects.
Can you give me some examples? Give me 1 or 2.
So my wood walls, so wood shelves.
Wood shelves.
Mhm.
Okay.
So there's a lot of shelves. So
I can see why your 5 days to what did we call it?
update your home.
Update your home worked pretty well. Do they see it as a pop-up or something here?
They do, and then I have it on my main page on the very front, and then on the bottom of every blog post.
Okay, I saw the paint color one. Does instead, if I would I see the pop-up for the 5 days thing?
I think there is. Honestly,
Okay.
I have several pop-ups, so and maybe
Okay.
that's an issue. I don't know.
All right, cool. Well, one thought that I had here is I think that you're going right after the need, right? It's hard to tell people exactly, especially in DIY space. You have a little bit of a unique situation because they Googled dining room shelves or something, and this came up. And so when you're going to say, well, I know exactly everything they need about a dining room, well, that may not be the case because, so transforming your dining room might not be it. You could try it. Sometimes it is, but it might not be. It might just be that you got them from shelving. So 5 ways to, 5 days to transform your home, or that general concept, is a pretty good one in this particular scenario, because then you can give some general things about paint, about cheap accents and things, whatever that you're doing.
And so in those emails, and maybe this is a mistake, I can't say that every single one of those 5 emails specifically goes to a blog post. A lot of them do. I've been trying to monetize with affiliate marketing, and maybe that's wrong. I do get good clicks on the links. So I don't know. I guess I'm curious to hear your thoughts on that. Is, because like ConvertKit is obviously different than Flowdesk, which there's nothing, bad about that. But it's prettier, I guess, is kind of the thing with Flowdesk.
Yep.
So the ability to be able to add pictures of, like add artwork to your walls. Here's how I've added some to mine. These are my favorite photo frames. Here's.
Yeah, it's a good question. So for me, it comes down to this person Googled you. Martha Googled or went to Pinterest.
Mhm.
What do you want from her? Is monetizing right now the right thing?
Mhm.
Like, so let's say she did that. Let's say that she actually clicked something. Great, you made $2.50 off of Amazon's kickback off of their tape measure. Wonderful. So, however, what if you converted her into Wood Grain Cottage follower for life, where she discovered all these other solutions that solved her problems over and over and over again? Then when you are selling your course, your how-to video, your ebook, and your affiliate stuff, you have a bigger, more productive list that is happening on a regular basis. It's a good strategic question to be asking. What is the point of having them on the list? And I'm not sure we've solved that here, but as far as
in some ways, I try to look at it as like I'm providing a service. I'm helping them. Like, okay, what photo frames you add artwork to your walls? Which ones are your favorite?
Sure.
Trying to think of it as that way.
Yeah, I like that. It's all about solving a reader's problem. So if you're solving their problem, great. But
and I'm not to say that I'm doing it right, because obviously I'm here. That I guess that's my question is. I've done this for a while, and it feels like all I do is give free. And then anytime you try to offer something paid, it's like, whoa, I'm just here for the free stuff.
Sure.
Like, don't ask me for that, and that's what's.
But you do make money when they click on your website and they view ads.
Yeah. Yes. But
I do.
like I said at the beginning, the yacht, you see all
Yes.
these other people.
Yeah.
No, it's just,
So it's all about, and we're going to talk more about this, Shayna. So I'm going to ask you to press pause on that because it's a deeper discussion. We're
Okay.
going to talk about the life cycle of your subscriber.
Okay.
Expecting the new subscriber to instantly monetize. That's tough. That's tough. They don't know you and they don't care.
right.
I can get, and I'm being a jerk on purpose. I can get shelf information in 800 other websites. So how do you become somebody that when it is time to monetize? So that's what I want to build here is how do we turn them into loyal super fans that over time, that's where the struggle dissipates a little bit. Let's press pause on that just simply because I want to help a couple of these other folks with some quick start guides. One thought I had here, by the way, is seasonality is huge for home decor. What if you just switched to, whether or not you had them, what if you switched for holiday decor, a quick start guide for that? My guess is that you would probably triple your conversion rate just by talking about seasonality.
Okay.
But that's a great example. Stumping Matt with a really good one to start with. Thanks a lot. You're supposed to bring like something totally terrible to start with. All right, Bethany, let's talk about yours. You have one ebook now. It doesn't convert a lot. Okay. You're thinking of creating one for your Italian recipes because they're most popular. That's a great idea. What's your website?
My blog's simplepalette.com.
All right. And you get a ton of traffic off of Italian.
Yeah, they're definitely the most popular.
Why do you think that is? Do you have some sort of special expertise on it or you just got lucky with Google?
Yeah, I mean, they were the first recipes that my mom taught me how to make. So yeah, they're definitely the strongest. I mean,
okay. All right. What we haven't done is we haven't dug deep into this. If you and I were working on this, I would go into your Google Analytics and I would go into your email platform and I would look to see where the traffic is coming from. If a big bulk of it is coming to Italian recipes and whatever you have right now is not working, then I might start with something like, and by the way, forgive the cliche here, 5 secrets to blank. I know it's cliche, but use that as a thought starter, okay? Because there's power words in there. 5 secrets to Italian cooking.
Yep.
5 days of Italian desserts. 5 days of Italian dinners, something like that. I'm making that up. Then over the course of 5 days, so give me a secret to, and I'm not talking about CIA level secrets here, Bethany.
Yeah.
I'm talking about like something basic. What is a secret to Italian cooking?
Well, one of the recipes, the eggplant parm is my most popular. I highly recommend using homemade breadcrumbs to elevate it.
Okay, let me pause you right there. Hi, Matt. Welcome to day 1 of 5 secrets to amazing, perfecto Italian cooking. It all starts with understanding the nuance for each recipe. In Italian cooking, there's always a secret ingredient that makes things fantastic. Secret number 1, master eggplant parmesan with this, ... The secret to my most popular recipe, eggplant parmesan, is homemade breadcrumbs. Click here to get my amazing recipe for homemade parmesan.
I like
that was not very awesome, but that was, I would workshop that a little bit, okay? Or you could say, here are my top 5 most popular recipes that use homemade breadcrumbs. And then you get a roundup. And you get, if I don't like eggplant, maybe I like the whatever. And then day 2 is cream, or it's fresh tomatoes, or it's know your different pasta types. Here's my gnocchi, which is fun to say. My fusilli, which is also fun to say, right? Boom, boom, boom. And you could have a roundup.
Okay. So you think going like the 5 like type of secrets?
What do you think?
Yeah, that's because I did this the last time you did it with AdThreat. I like followed the videos and I just could not settle on something. And I think my husband and I were thinking do something with secrets, but and like, I don't know. I guess my worry is annoying people. Like, do you think 3 days or 5?
Yeah, no.
I'm just scared to annoy people.
Look, I get that with every single session and every single client. The reality is that you can email more often than you think. I'm not sure if you know this, but I learned the other day that some people eat up to 3 times a day. There are some serious gluttons out there, and people love their food.
Yeah.
Think about this for a second. When you discover somebody who has reliable recipes, don't you kind of fall in love a little bit? And if they email you and you happen to be on vacation and you're not cooking that day and you hit delete on that email, do you hate them? Do you unsubscribe? No, because if they send you another email a little bit later on when you're in the line dropping the kids off and you're not exactly at your kitchen, you're like, maybe I'll save this for later, or that it's an idea, right? With food especially, you can get away with it more than I can with even with Disney stuff. Or that maybe Sheena can with her, DIY projects. You will not be annoying people. In fact, I've run experiments asking my clients to double their sends, and it just does not change the unsubscribe rate at all.
Okay.
Anyway, so 5 days in a row, piece of cake.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Christy. Oh, Christy, I'm going to spend as much time as you want. Okay. But let me just, if somebody, because we're approaching the top of the hour, if somebody has to bail, let me give you my homework assignment. And if anybody wants to see the technical side of any of this, let me know. I can show you the basics of how it might work in a platform like ConvertKit. But what I want you to do is go select 3 to 5 articles or tutorials or whatever, create a catchy title, lump them together, write those lessons, those emails in a Google Doc, and then share them in the Facebook group. I'm happy to go over those with you on Wednesday to give you feedback. So this is let's go, let's do it together. Let's go, we can make this happen. All right, we can enjoy the Q4. Don't just make this something where you're kind of watching passively. If you haven't done so yet, go grab, again, the free course. I don't know how many more times I'm going to mention it, so go grab it now. All right. And if you got to get, we'll see you on Wednesday, and where we're going to be, like I said, going over some of the copywriting part of this. All right, Christy, I apologize. Thank you for hanging out. Go ahead and unmute. Let's talk.
Okay, I'm here.
Hey.
Okay. So my blog is svgnation.com.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
So right now I get a ton of people that sign up because they have to sign up in order to download my free graphics. But then when I send emails, I don't get the highest click rate and conversion rate. And I have a ton of email subscribers, and I probably delete a couple thousand each month that are cold subscribers. So I guess I just want a better solution for some of it.
Well, that makes sense. And I have a few clients that kind of do something similar here. I mean, this is interesting. No idea what Peter does, but with Bethany and Shayna, they have very different kind of explanation, or they're going to have a little bit of a different experience just because of subject matter, and you will too. People are grab and go with their free SVG. They don't necessarily need you. They know you're a resource any old time, and they might have been doing a project at one time, and so they grab it and they go. I think you're doing the right thing by pruning your list regularly, being more aggressive at growing the list, and then being aggressive pruning them out. Tell me what happens when they download one of your SVG files.
They automatically get a welcome email, and I do have some links to like a few of my different popular tutorials in there. And then after that, I'll send them an email for my ebook. And I do get a few sales here and there from that, but I also always have a link to my ebook and my other emails that I send out. And I think I get more sales from my other, I don't know, maybe it's about the same. I mean, it doesn't do bad.
Yeah.
But I definitely think I could do better. And I think maybe I could utilize maybe for the 5-day thing, something with my Cricut tutorial, since my ebook is on how to use Design Space, maybe create some kind of thing with my Design Space tutorials. So.
I like that idea. And what do they get once they're on the list?
They get an email when I put new content up. So, and I'd put new content up a lot. So, if I put up a new craft or a new design bundle, they get emails. And I do have a lot of people that do stay on the list for those, but then a lot that grab and go.
So how many emails a week am I getting from you?
About 2.
And is it a list of the free SVG files that you released that week?
Yeah, or it may be a craft, like SVG craft, like, like the candy holders. It might just be a full tutorial craft, or it might be like a bundle of files.
Okay, so on Friday, we're going to talk about, I think, a technique that will serve you well called the Forever series. We'll talk about that, but that's what to do with people that are on your list right now. What I might do, because these people are so transitory, like we don't know how many of them are actually just grabbing it and going to turn into our people going forward. I'd probably be more aggressive than some of the other folks here on this call. Okay. And the reason for that is that it's easier for you to get a subscriber than it is for other people. You're ranking for the, I don't know, the strawberry berry sweet, you know, on Pinterest or whatever. You're getting a lot of traffic for that, and people know they can get this free thing from you. What I would be thinking about is, what do I want from them? What would I really want from that person going forward to convert them into a fan? Here's the things that I know. I'm going to make something up. Just go with it. I know that you're getting an SVG because you're probably using Cricut or what's the other one? Silhouette.
Yeah.
Okay. Most likely Cricut now. And they might be a beginner, they might be advanced, we don't know, right? But there are some basic things related to Cricut that you know that would help everybody. I might create, like you were talking about, a 5-day, and at 5, there's no magic to 5. I just use 5 because it's a nice round number. Everybody kind of, you know, it works well in marketing. So 5 days, and I would hit them up with a series of content that serves you, that explains that you're a subject matter expert in Cricut. So how to save money, what supplies you need and don't need, my most popular tutorials, evergreen, right? Or I might switch it to be seasonal. I might do that exact same thing and make it seasonal. Here are my seasonal projects, because right now is a heavy Cricut time because people are getting ready for Halloween, Thanksgiving, and Christmas. So you might just lean into that and say, you know, 5 days of holiday crafts ideas or projects or something along those lines, where it's day 1 is like 5, it's a roundup style of maybe 5 emails of Halloween projects. Day 2 might be Thanksgiving. Day 3 might be winter. Day 4 might be Christmas, right? Whatever, something along those lines. And when I'm doing these, I'll show you an example of how some of these might work. Okay, this is one format. This is Kristen from Lil Luna. She's doing a Halloween quick start guide, day 3, trick or treat yourself. So she's got sweet and spooky. I don't know how she chose these different ones, but she's got those cookies, and she's got those ones, and she's got these, and then those, right? So some format like that with different projects, because I may not love these, but I love those. Maybe I don't do chocolate, but I do strawberry. Yeah, with you, there's so much of the subjective, I like this, but I don't like that. I want to do that project or that project. Maybe getting more of a roundup style in each one of these emails might work out better. So something along those lines, I could see working really well for you as far as a holiday. And then what you're doing is you're training these new people that you're all about empowering them to do more crafts. Because my experience with people that work in crafts is that their audience want to craft more, but they don't have time, they don't have the money, and they don't have the knowledge. This is one of the things that you solve for them, is that you make it easy for them to enjoy this hobby more by giving them tutorials. There's just a couple thoughts.
Yeah, no, that's good. I like the holiday one. I have a ton of holiday stuff.
Yeah.
So I could make that work.
It always converts well. Always. So I'd probably start there.
Okay. Especially this time of year.
Yeah, exactly. And then the great thing about that too is it's not a waste. This goes for all of you. Like, you know, Bethany, if you wanted to lean into holiday food as a food blogger, I'm not sure we can be Facebook friends anymore if you don't do a holiday quick start guide. It's just such low-hanging food. But then it's there for you next year. You know, if you do something for Thanksgiving, you turn it off when Thanksgiving's over. Next year, you turn it right back on. Boom. That's one of the great things about this system I'm going to be teaching you, is that you're going to be creating these quick start guides as assets, right? They can either be evergreen or they can be seasonal. It doesn't matter. They can be for soups or for Cricut or for Silhouette or for Instant Pot or for gluten-free or for the kitchen or the foyer or the dining room. But each one now becomes an asset that you can use. All right, hope that helps. Peter, how
Yes,
you
it does.
feeling?
This is really good. Some great ideas. We're kind of different from the rest, but we're all different, I guess, right?
Yep.
We're at the University Network, so it's TUN.com.
Okay, I remember checking that out.
We help students as they navigate the whole higher education journey, everything from how-to content to communities, to finding scholarships and whatnot. So the interesting thing is for us, there's many different places where we can use this type of stuff. We're not doing anything with email at all. You know, we have some decent email lists from historical stuff, but we could actually, and we used to scale out fast, but the problem also was just the lists were getting too big too fast, and we weren't really handling it properly after that. So yeah, so in any event, some really good ideas here for us, and I think for us, we're going to we have lots of content there that we place well on. So I think we're going to probably do multiple quick starts to try, just to get you know, test some segmentation with it, and also just there's many different areas where we can do it. So yeah, so I was thinking a lot, but this has been very useful. Thank you.
Your stuff, this will work maybe even better for you than it will anybody else on this call. What I have found is that the more narrow the audience's need, the more effective your emails can even be. Remember my Disney cruise, folks. There's going to be a huge difference, sorry, Bethany, between Bethany's Italian, somebody who wants to make an Italian dinner, and somebody who is spending $10,000 on a Disney cruise. They will open mine way, way more. They will click mine way, way more. And I'll be able to quickly become a subject matter expert faster. Now, Bethany's going to get a heck of a lot more subscribers than I am, because there's a lot more people who are looking for Italian recipes. In your particular case, these people are on this journey right now. There is commercial intent. They need to save time and money and optimize their experience. And so what you just said about going into segments is absolutely, in my mind, the right thing to do. If I were working with you to go fast break stuff, I would pick one that you just, you know, think is, you get a lot of traffic on and that you're going to get a lot of traffic on through the rest of the year. Like starting school, maybe we missed that window, right? But I don't know, I would pick one, and then it would be 5 secrets to blank, or the insider's guide to blank, right? And then it's 5 days of the resources that you have. Which one are you leaning towards?
So there's a few, but there's some content that we have around college prep and college applications, and that season, we're right in that season, so there's a lot with that. There's a lot going on with scholarships. Students are always searching for scholarships, so there's a lot there as well. So there's a lot of segmentation we can go into with this.
I love it.
Yeah, so I'm probably going to try multiple, because I you know, I know there's opportunities there. So
right,
yeah.
Just on the AP exam, my goodness, you know, this wording right here. 5 secrets to getting a 5 every time, you know, whatever. You know, I'm oversimplifying, obviously, a complex, but that's what people are looking for, right? That's what moms and dads are looking for their kid when they click on this for them. Yeah. Anyway, all right. Good luck. If I can help in any way, let me know, Peter. I'm happy to. If you need to, if you get stuck or you want to brainstorm on particulars, let me know. That goes for all of you. I'm here to, I want you to have a positive experience. I want you to be successful. Let's go. Let's do it. If you're stuck at all, look, this does not have to be the perfect quick start guide. It should just be the first, or maybe a second if you're Shayna. All right. We're learning the tactics and the technique. That's it. And the technology behind it. And then We're going to rinse and repeat, I hope, and iterate and get better at it, but let's go fast, break stuff. Let's go, let's do it. We can do this. It's easier than you think. You want to see more examples? Stick around. I'll take another spare minute and show you some, share with you some more examples. If you got to get, I totally get it. We way beyond our time. So let me, in the future, I will end on time for just so that you can manage your stuff. Here's one example of one food, okay, one recipe. Revealed the secret to the perfect brownie. It's day one of desserts made easy. Here's the secret to the perfect brownie. Here's why you'll love it. Blah, 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 bam. All right. That's pretty easy. Let's do Sweet Red Poppy. Day one of 30-minute miracles, 5 sewing tutorials. Here's sewing miracle number 1, the scrunchie. Everybody needs a scrunchie. I know I do. So boom, she makes that possible. Here's a roundup style. 5 secrets to making healthier desserts. Remember when I said people don't read, they skim? Welcome to 5 secrets. Desserts are my biggest struggle. Blah, blah, blah. Who knows what that even says? I don't even know. Skim down to here. Secret number 1, use sugar substitutes. Oh, I can make these with sugar substitutes, right? Boom. How to make the perfect bed. I used to think that I didn't have the right pillows or the right sheets, or I need to buy more. Secret number 1, how to make a perfect bed. It's how you do it. Here's how you do it. This is how we do it, okay? If you're writing more than that, you're overthinking it, okay? I really shouldn't tell people that it's this simple. If you need any more examples, let me know. Happy, I'm here all week. Let's go. Any questions? All right, go get them, Tigers. I believe in you. Okay, we'll see you on Wednesday. Take care.